Are these two the same, or are they different? Most people will say they're different. You can't compare an apple to an orange. But they both have seeds on the inside. They both grow on trees. They're both classified as fruits. But they look different on the outside to me. They taste different. So are they the same, or are they different? Well, what about these two forks? They're the same. They can be used to eat your food, cut your food, mix food, but they're different colors. And oh, they're not the same size. But are they the same, or are they different? They'll both complete the same task. But you tell me, are they the same, or are they different? Much can be said about the value of your home as well. Many people turn to the internet when they want to find the value of their home, or they're thinking about selling their home, and they look up something called a Zestimate, which is a service provided by Zillow that I'm going to speak about today, so that we can decide if things are the same or are they different. Starting now. Hi, I'm Anthony, the Home Guy Waco. Each week I put together a video pertaining to Waco and the real estate market. Today, I want to speak about Zestimates and how they may be accurate, they may be not, and what you can do to get a more accurate reading on the value of your home. Let's face it, in today's market we're in a hurry. We want information as soon as we ask the question. And the easiest way to find the value of our home is to log on to a website, Zillow.com. They will give you a Zestimate of what they feel like your home is worth in your neighborhood by taking information from the MLS, basically finding out what homes have sold for in your local area, determining how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms in that local market. They use distance as well as part of their algorithm to try to determine how much your home is worth. And as you saw in the intro, I had some items that looked the same, were the same shape, would perform the same task. However, they had differences. So today I want to talk about how those differences come into play and how you can get a more accurate reading. Zestimates have been found to be accurate within 5% of the sale price of homes in the neighborhoods, only 62% of the time, meaning 38% of the time their number is off by more than 5%. Well, what does that mean? Well, let's just say Zestimate says your home's worth $200,000. It could actually be worth as much as $215,000 or as little as $180,000 or less. So why is that important to me? Well, as a real estate agent, a lot of times we will get a call, say, hey, I want to sell my house and it's worth $250,000. Well, where did you get that information? Well, I got it from a Zestimate. Okay, when I come out to sit down with you and talk about the sale of your home, I'm going to bring something with me called a CMA. The CMA is a report that realtors can put together that tweaks some of the differences of your home versus the neighborhood and makes adjustments to the prices and tries to make the homes more comparable so we can take those apples and apples and turn them into more like those forks, to where they are basically the color's different. One might be just a little larger, but they both perform the same function. Well, Anthony, is your CMA the best thing I can use to determine what my home's worth or to get a loan? No. Banks use what's called an appraisal by someone who's been to school even longer than a realtor, that knows the market, that knows all the different aspects, and will give you an exact number and a value that a bank would use to loan you money. So it is considered the most comprehensive value of your home is to get an appraisal. So how does Zillow come up with a value for my home? Well, Zillow uses, like I said earlier, the MLS. It takes information about what might have sold within the area or within the neighborhood. They also look at tax records. And let me ask you a question. How many of you believe that the assessor's office has the right value of your property? I'll bet if I did a survey of most of the people here in McLennan County, I'm going to get a pretty good argument that they're either a little high, and nobody's going to tell me that they're low. However, let's take into account you may own an older home. I owned an older home. They don't take into account, the assessor's office doesn't take into account any improvements I might have done to the interior or the exterior of the home. So my property value, according to the tax records, is probably low. Don't tell them I'm not going to give you my address so that they can jack up my rate. However, Zillow is pulling inaccurate information by using the tax rolls. That is how their determining number can be off one way or the other. By performing a CMA, or a competitive market analysis, a realtor takes into account all of the differences between 2, 3, 4 properties within your neighborhood that is hopefully sold within the last 6 months so that they can get the truest reading. Sometimes they'll go out as long as a year depending upon where you live, out to as far as maybe 3-4 miles if you live in a rural community. However, if you live here in Waco or in a city, most of the time they try to stay within a half a mile, quarter mile within your neighborhood, as well as 3-6 months, anything that's as close as they can get as possible. We then take the information that's gathered, compare the size of the homes, compare the age of the homes, try to stay within 10 years, compare things such as does it have how many bathrooms, does it have a garage, is it enclosed, is it open patio, does it have a swimming pool, does it have a fence, does it not have a fence. All of this is taken into consideration and the numbers are adjusted. Square footage, let's say my 3-bedroom is 1,600 square feet, your 3-bedroom is 2,000 square feet that sold last month. An adjustment would be made for that extra 4,000 square feet to try to get a more accurate number to compare the two houses with. Bathrooms the same way. Mine has 1.5, yours has 2. An adjustment would be made for that half bathroom so that we can make this apple and this orange look a little bit more like those forks. When you receive your CMA, it's going to contain not only how all those adjustments were made, but it's going to contain the calculations, the averages, and how all of that information was used to arrive at a number that is a more accurate consideration of the value of your home. Again, what's the best way to get the most accurate number for the value of your home? You could use either a CMA from a realtor or an appraisal from a licensed appraiser. Realtor is probably going to come out, sit down with you, look at the home, give you a number. You order an appraisal, it can cost upwards of $500 to get the information. I hope this information today was helpful on how to determine the value of your home. If you like this content, please consider hitting the subscribe button and the like button, or leave a comment to let me know what content that you may want to hear about in the future.